So he's a righty. No. He's a lefty that can't get lefties out, or he's a righty that can't get lefties out?
He's a righty who can't get lefties out. It's been a problem his entire career.
Yeah, I remember when you showed me the numbers in his last start. Oh, what's up? We're live, by the way. So we switched it up. I don't know if you saw on YouTube. Instead of going through all 15 games, it's a lot easier for us because we're still kind of breaking down the line movement for the later games. Normally on Wednesday, there's a ton of day games. Today, there's only 4. Well, 5 if you count the doubleheader. So we're just going to go through the first 4 games, and then we'll be back live again at 4 p.m. to do the night games. And not only will the content be better, but I think the picks will be more accurate if we do it that way
exactly.
too.
Yeah,
because obviously the goal is to win bets, not just put on a funny show. So just 4 games. We'll rip through this real quick. Oh wow, there's actually people watching at this hour. Whenever we do 11 a.m., I'm like, no one's gonna watch this shit. And welcome.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, I'm glad you're joining us. So first game, Arizona at Texas. Okay, I'm gonna let him go first because my pick is kind of a response to his. We have different picks, but I don't disagree with them. So he'll let him go first. He's on Texas.
Yeah, so I'm not a guy who's always looking to fade rookie pitchers in their first start. I know some people think that's a profitable spot, but I'm not that guy. Today, however, I will make an exception because I think this is a really brutal spot for Brandon Pfaadt to make his Arizona debut, and I'm very high on him. The Rangers over the last 2 weeks are still sitting second in WRC plus against righties and are a lineup that regularly starts 5 or 6 left-handed batters. The last thing I just mentioned is very key because I think that's going to be a bit of trouble for Pfaadt in this start. During AAA on the season, he's allowed lefties to bat .333 off of him, posting a .219 whip against them. So I think that the Rangers bats, being as hot as they are, even if they haven't seen him, could get some runs off of him. I think they could disrupt him. On the other side, we got Heaney, who I think numbers are a bit inflated from one really bad start to begin the year. If you look over his last 4 starts, the guy's got a 2.05 ERA, 2.63 WOBA, and a very impressive 23 hard hit percentage. D-backs lineup is 21st in WRC plus against lefties on the year and 23rd in WRC plus on the road on the year. So I think Heaney could put up a fine showing here. The Rangers pen, yeah, it's definitely slumped a bit lately, but they've proven to be the far better unit on the year, and I think they could outperform the D-backs 25th ranked road bullpen.
Okay, so yeah, if I had to pick a side, I would pick Texas too. As you know, I gave out Texas on YouTube yesterday, so I co-signed this. I'm down with Texas. I think because of the price, a more profitable angle, in my opinion, is the first 5 over 4.5 because it's at plus 110. So you heard what he said about you called him fat. I think it's fat. I think it's fat. I don't know
how to call it.
Yeah, I mean, he's making his first career start. I would imagine no one really knows how. Most people don't know how his name is pronounced. I think it's fat. But what you said about him, I'm completely on board with. I find it very hard to believe that this dude in his first road start's going to go into Texas and pitch against this lineup. I think the Rangers are going to get some runs across. I'm with you there. In my opinion, if Andrew Heaney gives up 1 run, this hits, and it's at plus 110. If he gives up 2 runs in the first 5, this definitely hits. So as far as the price discrepancy from minus 125 to plus 110, I think probably your bet has a higher chance of hitting, but I think value-wise, there might be a little more value here. But I don't disagree with the Rangers' money line.
I mean, one thing I'll definitely give toward your side, Rangers first 5 overs. Most profitable team at home with the first 5 over.
Are they first? They're first?
Yep, 55% hit rate.
Cool. All right. Next game. Damn, what a cool pitching matchup for an afternoon game. Logan Webb versus Framber. I talked about this one on YouTube yesterday. We got priced out here. On YouTube, it has to be a pass now. On YouTube, I gave out first 5 under 4, and I was iffy about it. I was hoping to try to get it at 4.5. It's now the first 5 under is now down to 3.5, which is I can't take first 5 under 3.5. That's just crazy. I mean, obviously, that's the odds makers telling us they don't want us betting the first 5 under. So if you're crazy sharp and want to take a stab at it, but nah, now that it's down to 3.5, I gotta pass.
Yeah, I got to pass here too. I mean, I'm going to take a little last minute look at this game because I saw Framber Valdez to record a win is at plus 135. I mean, I do like Houston to win the series, and while I do think Logan Webb has a pretty decent outing today, I think he's in the much more vulnerable spot on the road. I mean, let's not forget that Logan Webb's first 4 starts weren't great, and his last 2 starts were at home. We know from last year, Logan Webb is worse on the road. So, I mean, he could get hit up here. I wouldn't be too surprised about it. Now that we're not getting it at 4, I think this is a pass.
Oh, Mr. Hairston decides to join us. You missed yesterday. Yeah, I think that's unfair to say about Logan Webb. I think it's way too small of a sample size. I mean, this dude was pretty reliable last year. I'm not ready to just bail on him yet. Although I do admit, like, he hasn't been the most, I don't have... He
hasn't been himself.
My confidence in Webb is based on, like, the last couple years rather than the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Moving forward. Phillies, Dodgers. When I did the YouTube video last night, this line wasn't open. Obviously, it is now. See the graphic? We made them last night. I actually have a play on this. And Prop Beaver doesn't hate it. I don't think he completely agrees, but he doesn't hate it.
I don't love it, but I don't hate it enough to not put it on the tick.
Right. So I'm going to take the Phillies here. This minus 104 is from FanDuel. Most books have this at minus 110. So it's pretty much a pick 'em. And in my opinion, this is the most disrespectful line ever. I mean, you have the NL champions with their ace Aaron Nola on the mound, pitching against a kid making his first ever major league start, and it's a pick 'em. In fact, the Dodgers are slightly favored on some books. That's crazy. I mean, I am well aware that Aaron Nola doesn't quite look like an ace this year. I'm well aware that he's had some struggles, but what did he do in his last start? And I called this, by the way. He went into Houston and shut them down. What did I say about Aaron Nola that day? I said, that's when you back Aaron Nola. On the road against a tough lineup, he shows up for those games. When the Phillies are minus 280 favorites at home against the Rockies, don't back Aaron Nola. But when they're on the road in a game where he's kind of slept on or they're the underdogs, that's when Aaron Nola shows up. And that's kind of here. Now, with this kid Stone pitching, I wouldn't say he's necessarily an underdog here, but I feel like he's still getting undervalued. He's being slept on a bit, so I like it. Not to mention, aren't the Phillies facing a sweep here? Isn't it 2-0 Dodgers this series?
They are facing a potential sweep. I do not know if they play tomorrow. I would like to confirm that because I remember that Dave Roberts said to Bryce Harper, sit out 3 more days. So
I have it right here. Nope. This is the last one. They're off tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, so avoid the sweep on a getaway day, kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, so to also avoid the sweep, another nice little angle. I like the Phillies. I'm going to bet them.
Yeah, I'm not as confident. I really, honestly, now that I've seen more and more rookie pitchers make their debut, I feel like unless you have a really solid angle, like we do with Fott, then I'm not too enthralled about backing it. I mean, we just saw Bryce Miller yesterday not even pitch in AAA and throw 10 Ks and allow 1 run to the A's. I mean, Jesus Christ. So I have no clue what to expect from Garrett Stone here. His AAA numbers weren't all too impressive this year, but I mean, who knows? Phillies lineup hasn't seen him. He could use that unfamiliarity to his advantage, and he could go out there and deal. Yes, Nola blanked the Astros, but let's not act like the Astros bats have been hot. I mean, they're like 23rd in WRC plus against righties over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
The Dodgers look back right now.
That's also fair. Yes.
So I don't love it, but I'll ride with your sharpness. And yeah.
I don't know if we can call back an Aaron Nola against the dude making his first career start sharp. But I do like the angle. Someone asked before in the comments did you look at Andrew Heaney 6+ Ks?
Yeah, so let me go ahead and I'm on props.cash right now actually, so I could look at that.
Let me bring that game back. So someone's asking about Andrew Heaney strikeout props. He always looked at the strikeout props. I very rarely look at them.
Well, right now, the problem with Heaney that I'm looking at is the fact that it's juiced to like minus 160 to lay against Arizona. And I'm not too enthralled about that.
That's at 6+, minus 160 over 5.5.
Yeah. And like he's only hit that in 2 of 5 starts thus far. One of them being against a whiff heavy Yankees lineup and the other being against a very whiff heavy Royals lineup. the Diamondbacks do not strike out very often. I mean, if you look, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last 9 of 13 pitchers they faced have gone under, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 9 lefties they faced have gone under. So to pay that much juice is just not very enticing to me. I would rather pass.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds kind of crazy to have it at 5.5 juice the over with the numbers you just read off. All right. Reds at Padres. This line opened dead ass serious. This line opened San Diego minus 305 with Seth Lugo pitching. This isn't you, Darvish. No, like, this isn't Sandy Alcantara, although Sandy's having some problems. We'll talk about that a different day. This isn't some Cy Young Award winner. This is Seth Lugo opening up as a minus 305 favorite. And the crazy part is, when you look at Luis Cessa's numbers in his recent starts, it actually makes sense. If you look at those numbers, you're like, yeah, minus 305 sounds about right. As you can see down here, despite the heavy price, everyone's still betting the Padres. Like, I'm guessing everyone's on their ESPN app taking a look at Luis Cessa's recent starts. Yeah. It's awful. I'm not paying that kind of price. But you know what? We did discuss the team total over, and we decided to put it on the ticket. So go ahead, or I'll put it under you because it was actually your pick.
Yeah, I mean, let's just go through some Luis Cessa numbers lately. Last 4 starts, 11.57 ERA, 5.14 WOBA, 2.51 WHIP. I mean, holy Christ. It's hard to get much worse than that. And it doesn't get much better when you consider the fact that he has a 1.001 OPS against the Padres' current lineup. 7 of the 10 hits the Padres have against this guy are for extra bases. So I think that he's going to give up some runs here and put the Reds in an early hole. And that works more for our angle because the Reds bullpen, while solid this season, I'll give him that, has posted bottom 10 numbers over the last week, and they used 4 of their best arms last night to seal that win. I expect some low leverage guys to get some looks today with the Reds down early, and this should lead to even more runs for San Diego. And I think it's a big part of his opponent's success rate at cashing this total. Opponents are 4-1 to the over in Cessa starts this season, averaging 8.4 runs per game. And while the Padres have been underwhelming overall, I'm not going to sit here and lie about that. They've been much better as of late against right-handed pitching. After being held to just 1 run yesterday and a devastating loss, I like them to come out hot today.
Yeah, and at plus 100, someone on Twitter was saying if you say plus 100, that means like you don't know sports betting. Apparently, that's supposed to be referred to as even money.
I guess I can't. I guess I can't just read the actual
right.
odds.
And then, like, if you use spreadsheets and use the odds to calculate certain data, like, it's plus 100. You need that to say, like, you can't type even money into an algorithm. You need to put in a value. So
lots of geniuses in this space, man. We're just a bunch of couple rookies.
Yeah, we can only hope to learn from gambling Twitter. Yeah, so I'm backing that at plus 100 or at even money. Against Cessa. I mean, you got to think he's going to give up at least 4 runs in the first 3 or 4 innings. So
yeah.
All right, and that's it. After this, we go to Mets Tigers, which we're not touching those double headers. They're weird. And then the game after that is Pirates Rays, and that's at 6:40, right? Or 7?
Yeah, those are the night games.
Yeah, so we'll be back to start right here. Mitch, see, the pie charts aren't even done yet. We're not even ready. But we'll be back to start right here, Pirates Rays at 4 p.m. So if you're able to catch it, come back. We'll go through the rest of them. And there's a bunch more. There's still like 8 more games to go through. So still a ton of value on the board. Update. I wish we bet Philly plus 10.5 last night, man, because Embiid is participating in shoot-arounds this morning. Now it's down to 7.5. I would love to be holding a Sixers plus 10.5 ticket right now with Embiid playing. But anyway. So anyway, we'll see. We'll be back in 4 hours and 46 minutes. So we'll see you then. Let's hopefully when we come back, we'll be in the green with a couple W's in the afternoon. If not, we'll be back apologizing. So everyone, have a good day. See you in a few hours.
Peace.